How's Mexico?
Well, let me tell you about beef dip. I did not go to beef dip myself, but I was in the area. And I heard that some parties got messy, as in logistically, like the venues were disorganized and they were like, oh no, the party's not here anymore. It's over there now. And it was confusing, but there were lots of bears in town. The highlight, though, was the pool party at Mantamar. Someone took a shit in the pool and they like evacuated the pool. They sent the staff to clean it up. So then they scooped it out or whatever. And then they were like, it's fine. Everyone can go back in.
Oh my God, bears are so gross. They be shitting in the pool. That's crazy. A bunch of grown men and one of them shit in the pool.
Who knows how it happened? I wonder if they were like getting dicked.
Yeah.
But who does that still? Like, I don't get people who have sex in pools.
Yeah.
You want that pool water getting in your hole? Like,
right. That would upset the flora and fauna of your cave. I would think, like chlorine in there.
I agree. Yes, and all these germs, which I guess the chlorine kills them, but still, like, it burns. I'm guessing.
Right.
So, anyways, that was the beef dip pool party drama.
That sounds like a yeast infection and a bussy waiting to happen.
Or a rash for everyone else.
Oh, true.
Did I tell you about the time though when someone was allegedly getting fitted in the playroom at one of the bars and things got messy and they had to close it down for the night? That happened.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, what do you do after that? Do you just be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then leave?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there are showers there.
What's that thing in the military when you get dishonorably discharged? Like that.
Yeah, that.
That's what it's called. Dishonorably discharged.
I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just like speaking from empathy. If I was the room pooper or whatever, I would not tell anyone. I would just like realize what I've done and then get the hell out of there.
Right.
Hope that nobody noticed.
Yeah. You want to keep that secret for a while.
Yeah, because you don't want to get banned.
Yeah.
Or worse, canceled.
Literally.
But then what happens? Who are the casualties? First of all, who finds out? Because it's not the involved parties, it's someone else. And then how many people does it take to go up to the staff and be like, hey, this happened? Because then they're going to think that you're the one who did it.
That's a good point. Like, who's going to be the first person to throw the figurative brick and be like, someone defecated? There's been elimination in the back room. Like, imagine being a bartender and then having to like do biohazard cleanup all night. That sounds scary. That sounds gross.
It sounds like a job for the new guy.
True.
Which I asked the bartender like who was cleaning up, and he was like, oh, the new guy. And I was like, oh yeah,
duh. Oh, literally the new guy does it. Okay.
And I mean, it's weird, but like it happens in movie theaters all the time. That was like the thing when I was in high school and my friends worked at movie theaters. They were always like, oh, guess what? We cleaned up in the bathroom yesterday.
That's what I always wonder. Like, how do things go so wrong that someone like there's just shit all over the walls?
For some reason, it's always in movie theaters. I don't know if it's the acoustics or the theater food. Wasn't that like a thread on like, not 4chan, but wasn't there a Reddit forum about like messy movie theater bathrooms? Aren't those the ones with like bad fame?
Okay, that is a good point. Like, I love Reddit for the like sort of mental synapses you can create by just figuring out a bunch of isolated incidences from people and then kind of making a connection between all of them to find like the common denominator. But so I'm sure someone has already done this and like they have ruled out like a popular reason for why people smear shit all over the place. Is it for fun? Is it for amusement? Is it just maybe some sort of like, is it like someone can't help it, then like it's fine, who cares, whatever. We can clean it up. But if you're doing that just for spite, like you need serious psychological help.
Maybe it's one of those things, like one of those gang urban legends where in order to join this gang, you have to like fuck up a bathroom, a public bathroom, then you're in.
Yeah.
It's one of those like self-humiliation things.
What if you went in there like to like fuck up the bathroom and like your gang initiation, but like you made it look so gorgeous that it became an art piece installation that like people flock to, and it like garners like international news, and then people start decorating bathrooms.
Decorating as in like artistic pooping or
Like
like rearranging the things.
like just like graffitiing and like rearranging, but in a way that is like oddly pleasing. Kind of like those paintings where it's like it looks like just a white painting, but it turns out they use like 400 coats of white on that canvas or something.
That would be a movement.
Yeah.
Bathroom art.
Art poop.
Isn't there that famous Dada piece that's like just a urinal?
I think a little more highbrow than that, because that is so just like that's an American Dad skit. Like that is wild that they got away with that.
The Iowa City did a thing where not art related, but bathroom. I mean, sort of. They were giving shout outs to remodeled bathrooms in the downtown.
I love that.
Bathroom beautification project. This is like Joe's baby. And he was basically like inspired by the gross bar bathrooms. And he was like, wouldn't it be cool if we gave them money to redo their bathrooms? And so they did.
Wow, like a Tyra's meth makeover for disgusting bathrooms that college kids use. That's gorgeous. Did Studio ever get one?
No, you had to like apply. I don't know what the criteria was, but I mean, I don't know what you would do to the studio bathrooms. They're so
Tiny.
yeah, and I think they're painted black for a reason. So you can just paint over that shit. No pun intended.
Right.
But also, who poops at studio? I mean, I'm not saying no one does, but
Have you ever pooped at Studio?
no, never. Anyway, not to make the starting convo about that, but that was a beef dip drama.
Yeah. Speaking of poop, I saw this TikTok that was just talking about how this woman had like this theory that everyone goes through a phase where they're like really into Subway. And I was like reflecting and I was like, yeah, that's same. Totally, sure. Like not going there every day, but she was at one point in her life where she was going every day, and someone else was also going in every day at 7 a.m. They would both be there. But like the girl telling the story would just get like a steak, egg, and cheese flatbread or something. But the girl next to her would get extra ham, tuna, olives, extra, extra, extra red onions, extra, extra mayo, and then one line of mayo on the tuna side. And that's it. And she said after that, she figured out that's what she ordered. She never went back to Subway again. Like at one point, one of the workers said, "Oh yeah, she's been coming here for years."
And she gets 2 of those every day.
2 of those every day. But she also confided in her that she works in like a cubicle for an insurance company. And that just made me think like, because I've been watching these YouTube videos of people just like opening up Subway. So it's like really calming. They're just like, no one's around. They're just putting like cookies in the oven and setting out everything for the day and like turning on like their proofing machines. And I was like, wow, that sounds so fun. But then I remembered like people that go to Subway 50% of the time are really annoying.
I had a Subway phase.
Yes.
But I get the veggie one with everything, all the veggies.
Okay.
I was told by someone who worked at Subway to never get the tuna.
Yeah.
And then they said I didn't want to know.
Okay. Wait, so did you get the veggie patty when you went to Subway?
No, they have a veggie patty. No, wait, they have a veggie patty?
Maybe they don't. For some reason, I thought they did at one point, and it looked really gross. But maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah, no, I don't think I ever got the veggie patty. I just got the vegetables with cheese.
Vegetables with cheese. That sounds actually kind of good. I guess I would.
It is. Chicago subways are the only subways that have giardiniera available.
Now I really want Subway.
Yeah, you should. Well, but speaking about this like Subway lady order, I don't know what it would take to like turn me away from a place that I frequented. I mean, I've seen the kitchen at Players and I still ate there.
That is what is so interesting about Subway, though, is that it seems to be like half of the stuff they have is just regular vegetables that they buy from the store. But then the other half of the stuff is fake meat and fake cheese. And that's disgusting.
Yeah, their cold cuts are pre-cut.
Yeah. And they come in like little wads, like predetermined wads of this wad is exactly for one sandwich. Here you go, put it on the sandwich. And then I started thinking like, okay, you can't really realistically make like a really disgusting order at basically any other restaurant. Even Chipotle, everything kind of goes together very cohesively. But Subway is just a very godless place.
Is it the tuna?
It's hard to say because I used to get the tuna all the time because I was pescatarian for that 1 year in my life. And
Yeah, weren't you a tuna sandwich for a bit?
yes, I'm really into tuna salad sandwich, and I still kind of am, but it's hard to really barter and accept that I'm into tuna salad. And I've been dating this vegan, and I was like, maybe if I make a chickpea salad sandwich, that would be kind of similar, but I don't think it will be. Like, I want the umami of the tuna and the like salty of the tuna. But the chickpeas are just like, they don't do anything. They just sit there.
You can try pasta salad. It's got a bit more of a tuna-ish consistency.
I wonder what else.
It used to be a lot easier to steal from Subway. I heard. I don't know. I never tried it, but my friends who were pros at this, they were like, "Oh yeah, all you have to do is go in there and tell them that you found a hair in your sandwich, and they'll just give you like a free voucher for a sandwich." And they did this like consistently for this was like 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. I don't know if you can get away with that anymore.
Well, that's the thing about Subway is that they're always wearing so many different like gloves and like hats and shit. But the real crime is just like what like plastic are they injecting into that Black Forest ham? Like what preservatives like keep that meatball marinara sauce in like a homeogenic stasis?
I've never had their meatballs. Confession.
I have.
Are they sus or
No, they're good, but that's the thing. Like they inject it with like flavor, like McDonald's, like a la McDonald's. Just because they're so like they have too many locations to worry about food expiration that I feel the need and necessity to pump everything full of filler, like Hollywood.
what do Subway meatballs and Madonna have in common?
Yeah, definitely just the filler.
I don't know about Subway's quality control now that you mentioned it. Do they take care of all their supply needs, or do they go through some of those major providers like US Foods or Cisco, or are
Right.
many restaurants serving Subway meatballs and we don't even know it? Are they even Subway meatballs? Are they Cisco meatballs?
Right. Where is their white American cheese coming from? Like, who makes that? No one.
We need an ex-Subway employee to be a guest and spill the tea on Subway.
So true. I need to crack the case on this. But also, like, where does all the Subway come from? I feel like I've never heard of like Subway headquarters, Subway HQ, Subway main office.
Subway headquarters are in Connecticut.
They have to be evil. Connecticut is the most evil state on the planet. That's where all insider trading happens. But I think they have even more locations than McDonald's. So I'm just like, where are you people getting all this from?
There's somewhere, like most of them are franchises.
Like a Domino's pizza, I see.
But unlike McDonald's, like McDonald's are franchises too, but McDonald's is more of a real estate company than a restaurant because they own all the land that McDonald's restaurants are own, but the franchisee owns the restaurant and they lease the land from McDonald's. And it's part of the contract to open a McDonald's. Subway, I think you can open a Subway wherever the hell you want. And then you just have to like abide by the agreement. I don't freaking know.
That is what's so weird, that if it's like something that's just like a franchise, like leasing building, why do like the people from corporate have to come and assure that everything is all in order and looks identical to other Subways? Because we had people that would do that when I worked at a hotel. They would come in and make sure everything is on brand. But I'm like, this isn't your business and you just own the building. How are you able to come in here?
Well, was that hotel a franchise?
Well, that's the other thing. They had investors that like they needed like to give the money back to. Way too much chaos. There's way too many cooks in the kitchen, and that never trickled down to me. I'm like, how did someone invest millions of dollars to get this place built and they don't even know like who works there?
Well, that sounds confusing because I don't know what the setup was there. Because generally, I guess the investors would, the investors just want their money back out of it, right? But it's the person who like coordinates the whole whatever name licensing or build out, and then they refer to what the general manager, and they don't know. I mean, did you know everyone who worked there?
No, because I worked third shift, but I knew a lot of them. But also, like, people are not paid fairly for housekeeping because that job is hard AF. That is such a workout. Making like 10 beds, and they have to do it all, like, they have to do one room in under 30 minutes.
Wow,
Nuts.
the messes they be cleaning too, right?
Oh my God, yeah. But
Wait,
sometimes you find food in the fridge, and that was always fun.
how many people died in the hotel while you were working there?
None, unfortunately.
Uh,
But the pandemic closed it down, and the people that were managing the hotel, they just kind of dipped out, and then someone else took it over. But that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a biblical-sized miracle to come down and save me from this job, and it did. I don't think I'll get that lucky again, but I can still hope.
Another 100 years, we'll have another epidemic, and there's a chance we'll still be around. Hopefully, not working though.
I know. Well, that's the sad part about working remotely now is that if like another thing happens, it is so largely going to be ineffective to me because I barely leave the house as it is.
We can fix that. Just go for a walk.
Well, that's the thing. The sun is starting to set at like 5:15 these days almost. Daylight savings time is in a month. So in a month, the sun will be setting at 6:30 instead of 5 o'clock. Isn't that crazy?
I thought we were not doing that anymore.
Well, we tried to not do that anymore, but then someone in like the House of Representatives said, no, we still need it.
Dude, I'm coming back to the Midwest in a week or so. We'll see.
Well, it's technically actually right outside here in Singapore where I am.
Same, like it's well, not same. It's dark where I am now, but
Yes,
in my beach house, it's still daytime out.
for sure. Yeah, in Borneo.
Oh my God, Borneo! Have you made any progress on your Survivor auditions?
No, but I went to dinner and I was chatting with these lesbians who were also invited to the dinner. It was my boyfriend's friend, his like 35th birthday. So I was just like kind of talking to some of his like friends, and we were all talking about Survivor. And I was like, I auditioned once, but I don't think I like gave them enough, what's it called? Like heartbreaking like tea for them to really reel it in. I was just kind of like, I like Jerry Manthe. She's so funny and so gorgeous and slays. So I want to be like her, I think. And they didn't even like email me back. I should. I think they're about to have their All-Stars seasons though. So I don't know if I can.
I am not a fan of the All-Star seasons. I find them boring. I want the new people.
Yeah.
I want the new drama. I don't want to see the best of the best because that's just not exciting to me.
Right. Well, that's the thing. They have not done an All-Stars or any returning players since before the pandemic. They're kind of trying to get out because they are branding the current Survivor as Survivor 2.0. So they're just starting over, and now it's just Survivor 41, Survivor 42. But I think they're trying to get like a new cast of people to have like a new wave of All-Stars.
Well, until you're on it, I will not watch it.
Yeah, we're all going to band together. But that's the thing. It's like thousands of people have been on Survivor at this point, I'm assuming. Like, it can't be that hard, right?
Just keep trying. And you're never too old because they take people of all age ranges.
It has to be, well, I guess no. I was going to say it has to be like under 50 usually, but I was like, I don't know if that's true.
Seasons I've seen have people over 50.
Yeah.
As long as you pass their whatever. Do they make you get a physical or something, I'm guessing?
I think so.
Yeah, like as long as you're good, you're good.
Imagine doing like 4 months of rigorous like testing and vaccinations and like courses to like go on Survivor and then you quit on day one. I just can't take the pressure of it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Was that day one?
Yeah, that was day one or day two.
Wow.
I mean, like, slay for her, but
no.
I think they have a bad habit of casting people to be on Survivor who do not really need to be on Survivor, because everyone on Survivor is a lawyer, professor, or a therapist. And I'm like, you need to cast like a subway worker. They don't play. They will get it done.
Do you think they hope those people will use their like big rational brains to outsmart and outwit?
Well, the past season, there were 3 lawyers, and all 3 of them made it pretty far. But I don't think any of them, or I think maybe one of them was like, oh, yeah, I'm a lawyer. But everyone else was like, no, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what you're talking about. It was just like them like trying to like outsmart each other. But it was just kind of like a spy versus spy type of situation, spying on a spy who's spying on them. It's a mess.
I forget the season, but there was one where one of the contestants was like a streamer, like a professional streamer gamer girl, and she was the first one to get sent home.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I wish I can't remember what one that was.
I think it was 30 something or 20 something. Yeah.
I don't know. That would sound really slay though.
I don't know what she did. Like maybe the people were intimidated by her gaming skills, but gaming is more like hand-eye coordination, unless you're playing like all those mental strategy games, which who streams those? What are those?
It seems sort of antithetical to the point of Survivor, because you're not supposed to really like say too much or do too much. You're supposed to kind of think about like, okay, what am I going to say that is not going to hurt me in like tomorrow or a week down the road, or when it comes time for the final jury? Would this be like a bad thing to say, or can I even be seen talking to this person? Whereas like I feel like streamers are just like playing it by every second. They're just like, whatever, yeah. But like being too social is like very bad for you.
Well, I also think the show wanted the clout. They wanted to get some of that influencer good.
I feel like they're not like that famous though, because I don't recall like a recent memory of them.
Oh, this was like 10, maybe 20 seasons ago, so
They might be past their prime. I hope they're not watching this.
if they talk shit about us, it's just because they want the clout, and then we will be the ones who benefit.
But we're on her side. We stand whoever that was.
Yeah, gone too soon. She should have made it to the 3rd episode.
Right. Well, okay, that's the other thing. It's like, in some respect, like getting kicked off first is kind of nice, because then you don't have to sit by and just wait for your time to come.
I would want to at least be the first to go on the jury, because then you still get to go on for the rest of the show, but you get like a food and a hotel.
Yeah.
You don't get the money, but you still have a shot at like the fame and the clout that comes with being part of Survivor, and you get to be on camera.
Right, but I think they also have like a wardrobe department for the people on the jury to look fierce like every episode, and they have a different outfit for each tribal, and like their hair is like perfectly straight and not a hair is out of place. And I'm like, how are you doing this? You're in the middle of like Fiji. You're in the middle of the ocean.
Well, I always assumed they had clothes provided for them once they went on the jury.
They must.
Yeah, because like there's no way they're like, oh hey, everyone bring a suitcase just in case you get to be on the jury, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe they like prepare it and it's in like a warehouse, and once they go on the jury or go home, it's brought to them.
Right.
What you're saying makes more sense, because that would be too much plain money.
I heard some tea that was like, you are given like the color of your tribe, or like 2 different color options, and you have to go out and buy clothes that don't have any brand name on it that are that color that you would wear, and then when it comes time to go there, they like decide whether or not like to use that. Because like sometimes like they'll be like, I don't know, like they'll want to like play into like a character. Like if someone's like really like schluffy, like they'll give them like a tie-dye shirt or something. Or like if they're really nerdy looking, they'll like give them like a Poindexter button up in like blue if their color is blue. So like they really like to like hammer down on that type of thing. So sometimes you do get a shirt picked for you to wear the entire time, even.
Not Survivor being fake.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe it's just like not the right color. Maybe they need like a more salmon-y color instead of just like regular red.
What if I'm an autumn and my tribe's name colors are blue? Like, I can't do that.
That's a good point.
Or what happens when like the tribes are randomly like assigned? Or is that never the case at the beginning?
They're not really assigned at the beginning. Usually strategically placed of like who's like the strongest will also be on the same team as like one of like the weakest players in terms of like just like physical strength and so on and so forth. Also, like it doesn't take that long before the tribes are switched up anyway. So you would actually have to wear, well, I guess no. That would suck if like you hated blue, but then like since the tribe you like walked on was blue, like you have to wear that for the rest of the time, for sure.
There was this woman on TikTok who was on Survivor. You probably know who I'm talking about. And then she was just like talking about the production, and like she touches on the wardrobe team, that they're always making sure that the Survivor logo is showing on your bandana or whatever. And it's a lot more controlled than the audience thinks it is, which makes sense, right? It's a production.
Once I started watching Survivor, which was 2 years ago, I was like, oh, like that sounds normal. Like if they didn't like get the good shot of you guys like walking up or whatever, then yeah, you have to reshoot it because they can't just go back later and CGI that in.
Survivor out there like, oh, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, there will be no audio, but we have a very sickening transcriber on the case.
One thing AI will never do is run Survivor, right? Can you artificially generate a reality show? Do people watch that?
That's a good question. So I was talking to someone who worked on a reality show recently. She was like, I was working on a reality show, but it was like the first like it's like on season. So I had to just kind of make up a bunch of stuff as we went along. And I was like, oh my God, like, how am I going to do this? Like, I have to create someone's reality, because it was one of those gotcha style shows where like everyone is in on it except for one person. So she's like, I have to fabricate this man's reality for the next like 4 weeks. And I have to make sure that everyone is like on the same page. But like he would like ask like questions, and then she'd be like, oh my God, I don't know. Like I didn't think about like what happened in this situation, because there's like endless like outcomes.
Do you know the show?
I don't know if it'll ever air, because I think it was pretty similar to one that just aired called Jury Duty, but it's similar to that, I think.
I was thinking about Jury Duty when you were saying all this.
Yeah.
Oh, first of its kind, except not really.
Literally though, imagine how like heartbreaking that would be. Like you think like you cracked the code, but then like someone comes out with the exact same thing, or something to that effect will just like, and then like everyone will be like, wow, you really just copied them, but because they don't understand like it takes like a long time to get something out.
Unless it's literally like a jury show, then I don't see the harm. Like similar movies come out every year or a couple of years apart all the time, and that's like on purpose. My understanding is that it's healthy to compete with similar ideas.
I guess if it's like the exact same, then that would be really awkward, because it's not something you could like have a season 2 of, really, unless you like change the entire setting, I guess. But I don't know. She didn't go too much into the basic premise of it.
I was gonna say, unless you do it like a real jury where you have to like do a selection and find everyone who's like impartial. I forget if Donald Trump had a jury trial, but like how do you find a jury for that? Like who has not heard of Donald Trump?
How do you have a jury of your peers when you have no peers? There's only like a couple other living presidents, because we always elect the oldest person alive. 2028, we're going to be like, this skeleton will do it. They are the new president, and they are non-binary, but very racist.
Her name is Madonna. She's getting sued.
Really?
Yeah. Because you know how Madonna's always late to her shows? Well, I guess I didn't know this till like this year, but apparently she doesn't take the stage till like 2 hours after she says she's going to. So 2 fans are suing her for false advertising. I don't know how far it's going to go. This just like made the news a few weeks ago.
That is so true. But at the same time, I'm like, Madonna has literally been doing this for over 30 years, over 40 years. Like, if you don't know by now that she's not going to be on time, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, then you're a fake fan, right?
Right.
That's what I'm curious about is what will the court say? Is the court gonna be like, no, you should have known this, or this says 8 o'clock, it should be 8 o'clock, and now everyone who's been affected by her the last 30 years is owed damages.
That also sets precedent for everyone else who has a call time or a set time. They can be proven in a court of law to be falsely advertising when the show is. I don't know exactly if there are any real like damages that could be done if you have to wait an extra 2 hours for something that already happens at like in the evening time anyway, though. So
It's all it takes for the company to say, hey, start time might vary by 2 hours, and then that's it.
I wonder like what happens during like the 2 hours that people are just waiting. Is Bob the drag queen just like out schmoozing?
Are there openers for like those big celebrity shows?
Bob the drag queen is the opener for Madonna. I don't know who else.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, maybe he just entertains the audience for 2 hours.
I don't know. I was tempted to because Madonna was just here like a couple days ago and I wanted to go, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to pay over $100 to sit in some balcony far, far away. It doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
And like I checked the day before the concert too, like the day of even, and like they still weren't that cheap. So I was like, whatever.
What was the last show you went to?
Angel Olsen.
How was that?
It was incredible. It was amazing. She's a songbird.
Oh,
Alex likes her a lot too. And he was like, at one point, she had a show in Iowa where the venue she performed at was just somebody's barn. And I was like, that sounds amazing.
how do you book a barn?
I don't know.
I guess that's just Iowa.
Maybe it was the pizza farm or whatever. For anyone who is not familiar, in Iowa City, there's this like living legend that there was a pizza restaurant, but it was a pizza venue, but it was just at like someone's barn. And I think the premise was that you got served pizza and then you just kind of like hung out in like nature. I don't know. But I could imagine Angel Olsen definitely showing up to Pizza Farm.
Angel Olsen live at the pizza farm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure there's other stuff to do there, like pet like cute animals, like horsies.
the pizza farm petting zoo.
Yeah.
I met these twinks over the weekend. You know, they just traveled together. They're besties and they're really funny. But we were discussing where the height limit is to be a short king versus just like a short man. And I thought it was like under 5 feet. And this guy was like, oh, well, I'm five, whatever he said, 5'10" or something. Which that's not short. No, I think he was shorter than that. Anyway, where is the height limit for a short king?
I think 5'6" and under, you're a short king. I feel like mostly really only important to straight people, like height. And like I feel like the average girl is like around like 5'7",
Okay.
maybe. Taylor Swift is like as tall as you, I think.
Oh yeah, she's a tall lady. I love that picture of her standing next to Kanye West. Oh, by the way, how tall is the average female woman? 5'4"
Okay.
according to healthclevelandclinic.org.
I love a short king.
Yeah, me too. Have you been following the drama with the straight woman who brought her straight friend to the lesbian bar?
Yes, that is very odd.
So enlighten me, because I've only seen like the first few seconds of the response videos.
I have not even seen, but I heard a lesbian kind of like talking about it. And I was like, lesbians very famously don't have a place to go. Like there are not that many lesbian catered locations out there. And I think it took place in New York City where there's already like every single like business is the size of like an apartment. So if you're literally taking up space that like another lesbian could have used to be there, then yeah, you're gonna get hated on. But like, I guess if it were somewhere like, you know, where they really needed the business, maybe that's okay. But I think in that case, it was just a little like, oh, okay, a little weird. Like you could have literally gone anywhere else.
Yeah, why were they going there? Was it a date?
Why would like your straight guy friend, like what business does he have going to a lesbian establishment?
Maybe he was promoting his rental truck business, but he was a guest of the lady who is like a straight woman. Unless she was there with her lesbian friends, what's she doing there? I don't know. Does she have something to tell us? Does she like the energy? Does she like figuring something out.
Is she going through something?
Yeah. Is she like on the DL, married to a man, but
Oh, sure. But also, I heard a new term for people that hang around like only gay people, fruit fly. Isn't that funny? So cute.
yeah, the fruit flies.
I love it.
Met a couple of those. Like when I went to the naked campground on men's weekend, which it's not like an expressly gay weekend, but most men who go to men's weekend at the naked campground are into guys of some sort. And there was this guy there who was very straight, and he was having a great time letting everyone know that he was straight. He wasn't being like weird. And he said that he was raised by two dads. And he was just there having a good time, hanging out with the gays. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like,
He's a fruit fly.
and that's fair. Like, he wasn't bothering anyone.
But if you are at a naked campground with what you already know is gay people, I don't know if you're an ally at that point. I think you're an accomplice. Oh no.
What's happening? Oh,
My phone is like dying. Should we do our Alyssa Milano beat and then
yes.
wrap it up?
Yeah. Tell me, what did she do?
From my understanding of it, because we don't do any research on this podcast, my For You page was telling me that Alyssa Milano had came into Charmed, even though it was created specifically for Shannon Doherty after 90210 had ended. She had a contract with Warner Brothers, the WB, to like do another show. So they had to do it, and they did Charmed. And she brought Holly Marie Combs on. And then they also had Rose McGowan on. But then I think in season 2, they needed more star power, I guess. So they brought in Alyssa Milano. Then Alyssa Milano wanted like top billing and to be like at the top of the call sheet. So she just started like raising havoc and eliciting terrible lies about everyone and pushing people out and being like crazy, and basically like told the show, I think after like season 2 had concluded, that like either you fire Shannon or I quit. And I think they fired Shannon. I think it's also because like she saw that Holly Marie Combs and Shannon Doherty had producer credits on some of the episodes, and she was like, how is this happening when I'm the star of the show? Like, this is ridiculous. But it's like, just like because someone's given producer credits, like that doesn't really, like, what does that actually mean? It can mean anything. So now Shannon Doherty is pretty sick with cancer, and it's been like so long that the statute or the non-disclosure agreement is like far beyond overdone and whatever, that she is like coming out and like saying all these things, and like people have like known about it for a while because all the conventions that they go to for Charmed, like the only request or demand is that Alyssa Milano is not invited to the panel. So they have not been seen together in a very long time. And so she basically went on her podcast with Holly Marie Combs and like basically said everything from her point of view, but also Rose McGowan has affirmed a lot of what they were saying. But also like a lot of other celebrities are also saying Alyssa Milano is a very evil person. Like even her cousin said it.
Wow.
So Alyssa Milano has just been canceled for being an asshole, which is pretty hard to do in these days.
Well, but if it's true.
Also, the person I'm seeing said Alyssa Milano's husband is somewhat in close ties with Harvey Weinstein, and that also further created a really deep rift between Alyssa Milano and Rose McGowan. So there's just a lot of like really old drama happening and resurfacing.
So whose side are you on?
I'm on the side of Holly Marie Combs. She's so sickening. Love her.
Well, I also heard that Alyssa was like doing a GoFundMe for some kid's soccer team or something, and everyone was like, bro, you're rich. What are you doing?
Shannon Doherty like is like has like cancer and like is like paying for all these medical bills and like doing all these things. And Alyssa Milano has the chutzpah to go on Instagram and post a GoFundMe for her child's soccer team. What is wrong with you? Just give them the money.
Right?
You're
Like-
filthy rich. If it was like my child is selling Girl Scout cookies to like learn about whatever, sure. But like, why would you post like, please pay for this thing?
Celebrity begging. It's distasteful. It's like when Oprah made her video for the Hawaii fires.
Ugh, that was pretty bad. Like, I guess I don't know if she created the GoFundMe post, but still, like, why would you repost it? Why would you not just give them the money? I
You
don't
can
understand.
afford it.
I don't know. But okay. But someone in the comments on TikTok was saying that they were at a panel like talking crap about Alyssa Milano and airing out all her tea, while Alyssa Milano was also at the convention in a separate room doing her own panel while it was happening. But I was like, are you serious? Like, that's crazy
We
to
need
me.
to see both POVs.
I know. Well, okay, that's the thing. Like, there's some rumblings that like could come back to like haunt Shannon. That like think like she got a lot of flack when she worked at 90210 for being like hard to work with, but also I don't know if that's true.
She should have slept with Weinstein.
What is he even up to? Is he in jail?
I don't know. He's been laying low.
No, I think he lives in Thailand now.
Really? Let's see.
Unless he's in jail.
He was found guilty of 3 rape, forcible oral celluloid, 16 years in prison, meaning he'll spend the rest of his life behind bars. Was he that old?
Oh, yeah, he's pretty old.
Oh. Mohawk Correctional Facility in Rome, New York. He's currently serving a 23-year prison sentence.
Yippee!
I hope he's getting laid there.
Okay, but you know what's crazy? Bill Cosby got out of prison. They just let him out.
What were his charges? I know it was sexual assault, but like, how bad were they?
I think that like a lot of people like corroborated that he did do those things. So I don't know. It was quite shocking. I feel like it would be very taxing to come out and be like, this celebrity like raped me when I was a child just for the publicity. Like who does like I don't know who would be able to do that.
Could be. Sexual assault is not cute.
It's gross, disgusting, vile, putrid, and above all else, illegal.
It's not slop.
It's not slop approved.
Slopping it up.
Yeah.
What else do you have to say?
I think that's it. I think we wrap the slop up.
We mopped the slop up. Taylor Swift sent a cease and desist letter to that one college student.
What'd they do?
It's the boy who like tracks flights and like talks about their carbon emissions. And Swift's lawyers were like, you're stalking her and causing her distress, and you need to stop. I haven't seen the Swifties take on it, but I guess he did change his account so that he would post the flights like the next day and they weren't like live.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all public info that he finds.
Yeah.
So I just heard about this today. As far as my non-legal mind is concerned, there's no crime here. There's no breaking of the law. Cease and desist letters are just designed to like intimidate you. But I thought it was funny that this kid did the same thing to Elon Musk. And then Elon Musk messaged him on Twitter and was like, hey, I'll give you $5,000 if you stop doing it. And the kid was like, how about 50,000? And Elon was like, nah. And then he just banned his account.
I mean, 5,000, that's not enough. If you're already posting flight logs for people you hate, like, you got to be realistic about what you're willing to give someone. If you're buying someone's silence, you think that it can be just done with 5K? No.
It's like when an old guy is like, hey, here's 10 cents, go buy a piece of candy.
I will say, like, there are way too many millions of like mentally ill people like obsessed with Taylor Swift. I will have to agree with her that it is an impediment on her safety and privacy that people are posting her coordinates the day of.
I mean, I can see that, but it's not like those same people don't know what city and what address she's going to be at if you look at her tour dates.
But I think it's also just because the flight tracker has gained a lot of momentum because of how many private flights she takes. But I mean, at the same time, if you're someone like Taylor Swift or Beyonce, like, what else are you supposed to do?
Take the train.
Take the bus. Imagine like Taylor Swift gets off the stadium and just like walks out with everybody else.
No one would notice.
She's like, oh my God, I have to wait for another blue line because this one's so full. Oh my God. I guess I'll just call it Lyft.
Lyft for celebrities, which that's a thing. There's private car services for like rich people.
That is so true. Oh my god. Like someone like in a tux like picks you up and drops you off and it's like scheduled. Like go downstairs and like they're already waiting for you and then they take your bag and like just cart you around.
It's a thing.
I got really friendly with him. The one that worked there, he was like, I literally just sit in the car and like watch YouTube all day and wait until my next appointment. And he only has like 5 pickups a day. So he's just like, la 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 la.
Oh, wow. Celebrities have it easy to fly though. Like I was friends with this guy who was the personal assistant to, and whenever they flew, they have their own little private terminal at the airport that only they know where to go. They don't get in line to check bags or anything. They just go through this, and this was at least in like the Los Angeles area, right? So of course tons of celebrities fly in and out of there. So I don't know about every airport, but you just go to your little designated celebrity area and you breeze through and then you go to your private plane. But unless you're taking a private jet, you're still on a commercial flight, only of course in like first class or whatever.
Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, not everyone flies a private jet everywhere.
Oh, I see. Wait,
Maybe they do, I don't know.
wait, there's like private terminals for people who are famous, even if they're getting on like a flight with like random people?
I don't know if they are private terminals or like if they just go into like the Amex lounge.
The Delta Diamond Club, they have their own thing too.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I guess
anyone can rent a private jet as long as you can afford it, right? So,
that's true. I wouldn't trust it.
yeah, I don't trust small planes. Too many people die every year on those crashes, at least that I hear of. Imagine how many you don't hear of.
I know.
Planes
Oh my
fall
God.
from the sky every day.
Imagine being in a helicopter in a death spiral
What's that, like a tornado?
when like something like gets like screwed up in like the helicopter and then like you see it like start like spinning down like rapidly like it's in a tornado and then like when it hits the ground it explodes into flames.
Yeah, not for me. I like watching those, but I don't want to be in one.
Right.
It reminds me of the video of the person who was being airlifted to the hospital. It was this old lady, you know what I'm talking about? And then, did she die?
No, I think she slayed.
RuPaul said, "Oh my God."
I said, oh, you better work. He was
She
like,
spun so fast her wig flew out.
literally.
So anyway, that I would not want to do that either.
That's a good death spiral.
The sleigh spiral.
Yeah, because she survived, so it would be a sleigh spiral. And with a sleigh spiral, I think we bid our slop adieu.
Oh my God, Dan, where are you?
Hello? Oh my God, that
There you
was so
are.
scary.
Oh my
I
God.
walked into the light and I saw God. I was playing with my AirPods and then the case had opened and then it activated my Bluetooth, which sent me to the shadow realm.
No.
Oh, it was really scary. Thank you for all the prayers in this stressful time. At least I was surrounded by friends and family.
Thank you to all our friends and family who watch and listen to the podcast. Is this a podcast or a show? I feel more like calling it a show. Or is it just a healthy breakfast?
It is something for your morning commute. It is something for when you're tweaked out at 2 a.m. cleaning your house. It could be something to put on in the background while you're grading people's papers. You know, it could mean anything. It could be anything.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a morning show, it's late night, it's podcast, it's a radio show, it's a hot cup of slop.
Warm and sloppy, just how we like it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone enjoy your slop for the week. Follow us on TikTok at Hot Cup of Slop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And suggest your sloppiest topics.
Anyways, I really have to pee, so I'm gonna go.
Eat your slop, and I'll slop you later.
Bye, slops.
See ya.